Lately, I've noticed something that I think is really interesting when it comes to coaching. A lot of companies, individual managers, even people with the title of coach in their job description or in their job title, all have different interpretations of coaching. And that's pretty common, right? One of the things that I would share with you is that some companies will use the term coaching, but never teach their managers questions. On the other hand, we had one client who literally said coaching's all about feedback. Now, I'm not here to say that my definition of coaching should be your definition, but I think there's some fundamentals of coaching that must be established in order to create coaching success. First of all, we have to schedule coaching. We have to take the time to put it on our calendar or it won't happen. Or worse, we'll be triggered to coach when we see things that are wrong or need to be fixed. We need to start with strengths. One of the things I love about the Gallup organization is their research, and they report people will engage 8 times more when we lead with the good things. Have your questions ready. Know what you're going to ask. I think the big thing is to realize one thing. Coaching is establishing awareness of both strengths and opportunities to improve, and then taking action on the awareness. But a lot of times, what do? We see what's wrong, and we see where people can go, but they haven't even become aware. But we're already trying to take action and put them in a direction or move them in a direction that maybe they're not ready to go. And know that it takes time. One of the things that I love about what we do is we teach something called the 3 levels of change: effort, progress, and results. Let me leave you with this story. Let's think about people, and let's be honest, they can be very brittle. So I've used this in prior recordings where I share with people the power of language. And if I go up to somebody and say, Susie, you did a really good job, but you forgot to do X, Y, Z. Everything before but is quickly forgotten. Now, if I were to approach Susie and say, Susie, I think you did a really great job here, here, and here, and I think about combining that with the following 3 areas for all of it to become strengths, doesn't that sound more positive? Wouldn't you receive that second message better, or that second question? But we have to realize that takes managers' time. It takes time to learn this language. But let me share a quick story with you. Think about a little league ball player, goes up to bat, first time, 3 strikes. Kid doesn't even lift the bat. Now, I bet you're going to think of somebody in your community. And it's usually a father. Yes, there's some crazy mothers out there, but the father has a heart attack. Swing the bat! Now, take a second and think. Would you want to go back in that batter's cage? Would you want to go back in that batter's box, knowing that your dad has been disappointed? Now, let's say you're an employee and the employee gets called into the office. Now, let me ask you this. Employees are called into the office every single day in corporate America. What's their first impression? You know, when I ask that question, when I do webcasts or I teach or I do speaking events, I always get the same answer. Uh-oh, I must be in trouble. Why? Because we've conditioned that. So what happens to their effort level? Does anyone roll over in the morning and say, honey, I got to get into work. I am so inspired with all the constructive feedback I've been getting lately. So people make decisions. So let's go back to the ball player. What if he or she goes in the batter's box and the next time swings the bat, doesn't even hit air? Guess what happens? There's effort. That is a critical point. The ball player, the human being, is making a decision whether they want to keep trying based on other people's responses. Now, what if the coach went up and said, man, you took a great rip. You're going to hit that ball. We trust you. Wouldn't effort go up instead of go down? Now, let's say 2-3 weeks later, the kid starts foul tipping pitches. He or she's not striking out as much. More importantly, they're grounding out, they're popping out, they're hitting the ball. By the way, they don't have a hit yet. Totally lacking results. And don't we get in the way of effort and progress because we demand results right away? How many times have we heard sales leaders say to salespeople, you got to get your numbers up, you're at 85%. Don't they know that? Now, what if in the second to last game of the season, the kid gets a hit and the stands go wild and the coach is high-fiving the kid? I'll share something with you. That was my kid. And he had a baseball coach that was positive every time he struck out. As a parent, was it tough to watch? Oh, of course it was. But being in this field, I'm biting my tongue and I want to yell something. I got to practice what I preach. And years later, he played high school baseball. He was okay, nothing special. But he learned a valuable lesson to keep going, produce effort, progress is around the corner, and then and only then can you have predictable, sustainable results. I hope this has helped. Let me know.